The reason that I'm concealing my identity will become obvious in a moment. I wonder sometimes why I don't just leave the LDS Church. When I was a missionary, I think I had my first thoughts about the fact that the scriptures are probably not what the church teaches that they are. Specifically, I had thoughts while I was on my mission where you spend a lot of time studying the standard works or scriptures. I had a lot of thoughts about how if I was writing a book as an uneducated man living thousands of years ago, or even in the 19th century during Joseph Smith's time, and I was trying to explain to people the nature of God and what God wants people to do. As an uneducated person, I think that I would write books that sounded a lot like the scriptures that have been written. They teach some nice things, and then they also have a lot of vengeance and prejudice and misogyny and a lot of nasty things, but nasty things that you would expect from an ordinary man doing his best to understand the cosmos without the benefit of education. But I didn't become a full skeptic while I was a missionary. I came home from my mission and was, still a true believing Mormon. I attended BYU and graduated from there. And in my religion classes at BYU, my doubts grew just a little bit because it became more obvious that in order for the scriptures to support LDS doctrines, and in order for us to maintain the collection of teachings that constitute modern Mormonism, it's a feel-good religion today, you have to cherry pick from the Bible, the Book of Mormon, even the Doctrine and Covenants. And that became more obvious to me while I was at BYU. Nevertheless, I was married in the temple, met my wife at the Y, and have always maintained the perception, I think, to other people that I am a true believing member of the church. In recent years, it's become increasingly obvious to me that the church cannot possibly be what it claims that it is. It is most certainly not the true church. But I am trapped. And the reason that I feel trapped is I love my wife, and I am certain that if she knew just how deeply I am convinced that the church is not true, she would seriously consider divorcing me in order to find an eternal companion that is more worthy than I am, to use the language of Mormonism. And I simply don't want to risk that. We have a daughter, and I cannot imagine doing anything to jeopardize my relationship with my daughter. On top of all of that, of course, I have a lot of LDS friends, and I would hate to lose those relationships, although looking at everything all the relationships that I have, those would be the easiest losses to cope with. But I live in what may be the most LDS county in the state of Utah. And my employer, my boss, is a very strong cheerleader for the church. He's an active member of the church. Ironically, he's not all that obedient. He has a liking for certain beverages that he should not drink according to the word of wisdom. And I have no doubt at all that his perception of me would be powerfully damaged if he were to find out that I do not believe in the church, and if I had plans to leave, it would threaten my job security. And so I go on, and I act as though I believe in the church. I am, by all outer appearances, an active member of the church, though I try to avoid callings that would make me even more uncomfortable than I already am. And here I am trapped